So I want to talk about some ideas that I've been having about the sequel to Breath of the Wild. Um, I'm gonna start talking about a guy named Arlo. He's like a little talking hand, blue hand, like a Muppet. For those who haven't ever heard of him, and he was scared that the sequel to Breath of the Wild felt like a Hyrule 1.5, like something. Since we heard they're using the same old assets from the base game, he was kind of scared that the game would not felt really different from what we already have. But I don't think that's the case because this Zelda Breath of the Wild was the most successful Zelda to date. It just sold more than any other Zelda, right? So I don't think Nintendo would take this game that was the best selling Zelda of all time and just make more of the same, They probably want to make it even bigger than it already is, right? What I think they if I was develop this game, what I would do is that since we already have the base game ready, all the assets and stuff, I would take this game and take every other great element from every other Zelda game that really worked, and I will put inside this game. Like they already showed us like the sky part, right? Something that we had on the Skyward Sword, like the flying mechanics and like exploring the sky and like flying islands and stuff like that. So that's really great. But I think they just show like a tip of the iceberg. I know. I think there's a lot more to this game that they're actually showing us. Like they probably gonna have a lot of underground stuff as well. They already showed some stuff on the first trailer and some of the gameplay. It looked like something underground, but I'm expecting a lot of that because we've seen a lot of dungeons and stuff like that in old Zelda games that were actually underground. So I'm expecting a lot of those stuff to be back. Another thing is that in Breath of the Wild, we could like swim in the water, but something that I really felt was missing there was like the underwater stuff, like because we couldn't actually dive. And from what I remember, in past Zelda games, we could actually like use a kind of a boot that was heavy and would get us the ability to go underwater and explore a lot of stuff, or maybe some sort of a mask or something that could give us oxygen to go underwater, right? So we could just like find some sort of item that would could allow us to go underwater. Just this single item would just like add so much content to the game, because there's so much water in this game that we could not explore underwater. So we make the game a lot bigger than actually already is. But the thing that I'm actually really hoping that happens is that they add some sort of time travel, like what we have in Ocarina of Time, right? Because if you think about it, all the base world, the assets already there. So they could actually remake the game in another time, like in the future or in the past. Like you're gonna see the same game, but like it's like kind of old and a lot of ruins and stuff like that. It would be so easy. They had so much time to develop this game that it just makes sense. If I was develop this game, I would definitely put some sort of time travel in the sort what we have in the Ocarina of Time, right? Or maybe some kind of spiritual realm, like what we had in the Legacy, in a game called Legacy of Kain, Soul River, that we would go like inside a spiritual realm where we saw other kinds of enemies and other things happening there that were not actually in the real realm. so that would be cool as well. uh, Other thing that I'm thinking about is the crafting, right? Because I felt that the crafting was really not fully used. Like they could do a lot more with crafting, like crafting weapons, crafting armor, or maybe repairing armor, upgrading stuff like that. So I'm I'm waiting to see a lot of crafting in this game as well, because I thought that it was really something underdeveloped in the base game. So, and I really hope we get some new dungeons, like classic dungeons. I don't think the new dungeons are bad or anything, but with if we had like some classic dungeons, like it would be really cool, you know, and it would just fit with the whole underground stuff. I would think it would just fit perfectly with those ideas that I already had. So I think there's a lot of potential to this game right now, and I'm really hopeful for it. I don't think it's gonna be just more of the same at all. I think the Nintendo is gonna expand in this game in a lot of ways, pretty much in every way they can, because I mean they already have like Zelda was never so popular as it is right now. So a lot of people already know Breath of the Wild, and if you can like make this game better than the first one, you will have just so many new fans to so much more Zeldas to come, you know. So I think that if they expand and take elements from every other game, and I already saw some another guy, I think his channel is called Commonwealth, and the stuff he analyzed the history of Zelda and all the mythology behind it, and it just uh, it just fits, you know, with all the stuff that I've been thinking about that would be great in a new Zelda. So it's all starting to make so much sense that I think that they actually gonna take these elements from every other game and just put in this new game and make this like ultimate Zelda, you know, that everyone's gonna go crazy about. Old players, new players, everyone's gonna love it. So I'm really hyped for this new Zelda, and I really hope they show something more substantial in the next direct, you know, because I think people really needed to see it to believe it. These Nintendo infidels, you know. So yeah, I'm really hyped for it. Tell what you guys think about it. Like, tell me your ideas, what you want to see in the game, what you think about my ideas, if they're just too crazy, too hopeful. Say whatever you want to say, and that's it, guys. See you next time. Bye.